This is the Above Average Podcast, and you are listening because you want an above average life. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the Above Average Podcast, the podcast where we talk to above average people about their above average lives. Now, my guest today is a former special needs teacher turned fitness professional, longevity coach, and founder of Nutrition. Did I say that right?
That was perfect.
Yeah, fantastic.
Love that.
She's a self-proclaimed tit with no common sense and an abnormal love for going places. Please welcome Nicola Patterson to the show. How are you doing, Nicola?
I'm good, I love that. I forgot that I actually wrote that. It sounds better when someone else says it.
Did you come up with that yourself, or did someone?
Yeah, because I'm a self-proclaimed tit with a love for going places.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much for coming down today. So
very well.
we're going to take you through Nicola's story, and she has some amazing insights on fitness and some sort of controversial kind of ones.
Yeah, a little bit controversial, which I quite like.
Yeah.
I like being a little bit different.
Well, we don't shy away from controversial on this show, so don't worry about it. So there you go.
You said me brand name right, it's fine.
Nutrition. I trip over my words all the time.
You know what as well? People have a problem saying longevity.
Longevity.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
that was good. Yeah,
thank you. Excellent. So, Nicola, when we spoke earlier, you mentioned that back when you were younger, you were sort of the funny fat friend.
Yeah.
So, was that when you were in school?
Yeah.
Or was that like throughout like
kids are fucking mean, man.
Yeah.
Kids are mean. They always like. I remember actually specifically one time because I was fat and funny. Do you know what I mean? Like I didn't really have any other characteristics to kind of lean on. I was just funny. Do you know what I mean? But I remember there was one time that all the kids lined up and they put eggs on my head. Kids are fucking arseholes sometimes.
They are.
But I feel like with kids, they don't really have any, what's the right word for it? They don't really give a fuck. I feel like you don't give a fuck for the first bit of your life. Then you really give a fuck. And then when you're older, you don't give a fuck again.
Yeah, I'm just asking you to move slightly to that side, just in front of the mic. Yeah, excellent.
Okay?
So what was, when you look back at that experience, what do you think of that now? Like, do you feel sad for them or for yourself? Or?
For them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine. But I feel like if kids are doing that then, hopefully they've kind of grown out of putting eggs on people's heads.
You never know. I mean, to be fair, people that bullied, I was never like bullied, like targeted. I was just like the butt of jokes. Like, it's just like I wasn't very cool.
You know what it was though? I wasn't cool, but I was in the cool gang. So I was in the cool gang. So I wasn't cool, but they kind of like adopted me. And they were all right to me most of the time, do you know what I mean? But I think because I was like the fat funny one, it was like I was a bit of an easy target.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm fine now, it hasn't gone into my older life and it's not a traumatic experience. Looking back now, I'm like, fucking hell, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not nice, that. And it just makes me proud, even more proud of where I am today.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I've had a lot of people on this show, and a lot of people are like, I was bullied in school.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then this
again,
it seems to be a common thing.
Confirming that kids are assholes.
Do you know what? The thing with bullying, right, is I think everyone is bullied. I don't think it's an abnormal thing.
Definitely not.
And I bully my friends even now.
Yeah, but that's like, you know, like
it's banter.
Kind banter.
It's actually apparently as well. This is so off topic as well, but
That's
I knew we would go off topic. But apparently, the reason we have banter and the reason we rinse people is to work out who's a psychopath and who's not. Apparently,
fuck off, really.
Because
that's
if you start to rinse a psychopath, they'll take it really personally. They won't be able to have that banter. So it's like weeding out who's like gonna. So
if you're really a bit shant to someone, and they really like throw it back to you, like they could potentially be a bit of a psychopath. Just
maybe, I mean, or either that or you've touched a nerve. But if they just really can't handle banter, it's a bit like red flag.
Like bite a bit too much off.
Yeah. It's like you're calling them out on something, and they're like, no, I don't like that. So
every day is a school day.
Yeah. So in terms of like the fat funny friend, that identity, did that ever leave you, or do you still consider yourself just a funny friend now?
I do think I'm quite hilarious sometimes.
I would agree.
Yeah,
After a phone call that was meant to be 10 minutes, I turned into 45 minutes.
Oh, yeah, you're like, I won't be long.
And you were like, yes, you will be. You were like, yes, you will be long. It's fine.
Scott, put the tea on. What were we saying? What did you say to me?
The identity. So do you still consider yourself like the funny friend now?
Yeah, I think your personality stays with you for a very, very, very long time. I think things adapt in your life where you sort of get maybe better qualities as you get older, you have more experience.
Yes.
But I do think that little girl, like, I still want to make her dead proud, do you know what I mean? But I think as I've grown older, I've still been the funny one. Hopefully that'll come out a bit more when I'm not as nervous.
But I can imagine you giving as much like got back as you got.
I
Just
would do
knowing
now,
you now.
100%.
But
when
you
I was
weren't
younger, because the thing is, it was a crowd of like really, like obviously back then I thought they were cool, but like back then it's like one of you against. You know what? They weren't awful to me all the time, making it sound like it was really bad. But
yeah.
I feel like how much I've come on since then, it's just nice to look back a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But like you said, I think everyone is bullied to a certain extent.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, I went through a phase when I was sort of maybe 16, 17, where like I started to become a bit of an arsehole to a lot of people.
Oh, really?
And I was kind of this cocky, arrogant shit, you know what I mean?
dear.
I like a lot of, I know, but like,
Well, I think it's to protect your own ego as well.
It
though.
is.
It's a protection thing. It's a protection
is.
thing, 100%.
yeah, exactly. So, how did you get into working as a special needs teacher?
Oh my God, I've had like 28 jobs, mate.
Well, I've picked
Swear
two.
down.
I picked
I'm
like two in this,
35.
so that's fine. Well, I don't have 3 hours worth of just
I know,
your job.
yeah. We'll go through my whole CV.
Yeah, let's go through it.
I actually have. I mean, I wanted to work with kids when I was younger.
Hmm.
I really wanted to work with kids when I was younger. And as much as it can be really rewarding, it is fucking draining, mate.
Mm-hmm.
It's so draining. So I did my work experience in a nursery, and that was canny. All the kids were dead cute. It was like, you know, they run around with like, you know, stickers like woo. And then I went into working with, I did my TA training, actually. And then I went off to Thailand for a little bit. And then I came back, went to Vietnam, was a teacher over there for a little bit. That was cool as fuck. But the kids over there have so much more respect for you.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh my God, they actually want to go to school.
Yeah.
They want to go to school. Like, go to school on a fucking Saturday.
Oh,
I
really?
want to, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so you have like a Sunday off there. But they've got so much respect for the adults. And that's what differs from working in the UK.
Yeah.
Obviously, some of the kids I've worked with here are absolutely lovely. There was a little lad that was one-to-one with at my old school, and I miss him so much, do you know what I mean? But you can't put your mental health on the line, because I was fucking shattered every single day. I was finishing work, and I was just walking home like a bag of yogurt, just like, fuck me, I'm shattered. I didn't have time to do my own life.
Yeah. Well, it's
but
a job you take home with you because you got coursework to mark and all that sort of stuff.
Well, I was only TA at the same
right.
school. I was a teacher in Vietnam, so I took the whole work home then. But in Darla, where I'm from, the school there, I was just the TA because I've done the teacher thing, and it's so hard.
What did you personally find like? Obviously, I know like you didn't have time for your own life, but what was hard about the actual teaching itself?
Just a lot of responsibility, like to make the classes like fun and build the rapport. Because teachers think that it's all. I'm not trying to tell teachers how to do the fucking job, by the way. But they think it's all about the learning. But you have to build a rapport with the kids.
Yeah,
they've got no. Obviously, there's boundaries. You can't be the friend. But on a professional level, you've got to build the boundaries, but you have to build rapport with them. Otherwise, they just won't have any time for you.
Yeah,
like they're sat like that.
the drama teachers at my old school did not know boundaries with students. I'll just say that. But
It is something you want to talk about, Adam.
nothing with me. It was just all rumours and stuff. Yeah. Some teachers had no boundaries with the students, but I think
that's fair.
Sick formers, it's fine. But
Can open worms everywhere. Sake.
So, guys, getting into this, I knew having Nicola on would be an absolute hoot, so they were just probably going to laugh away through this. Some episodes are really serious, and we're like talking about like really traumatic shit, and then sometimes we're just like, oh yeah, drama nonsense teachers, you know what I mean? So,
it always lightens the mood, you know, bullying nonsense, it just sort of like varies it a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah. So, in terms of the instances that you had to deal with, was there any specific instances you remember as a teacher that really sort of took the toll on you?
You know what, no. Actually, yeah, I'm completely lying. As a teacher, when I was laughing, I fucking spat everywhere. When I was a teacher in Vietnam, that was like extremely rewarding because I was doing something quite different. Like at home, everyone was like, "Oh, you're doing amazing!" Like I remember the first class I actually went into. I'd literally just landed in Vietnam the night before, and she was like, "Right, your class is in the morning. You've got a class of 40 kids."
Wow,
and they just gave me 3 flashcards and sent me in the next day. So I had to like literally just make an hour class with 3 flashcards with 40 children in a circle. It was fucking hilarious. I pretended to be an alien.
How old are these kids?
They were like 3 to 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
cute, man. They were so
How
cute.
did you communicate with them? Like they
so
wouldn't know
I
that
had a
much.
TA. So I wasn't allowed to speak in English. No, I wasn't allowed to speak in Vietnamese.
Okay.
Not that I fucking learned Vietnamese anyway. I know how to say thank you.
It's a hard language. It's a hard language because it's a tonal language, isn't it? It's
so
like
difficult.
yeah.
I tell you what's a hard language though, fucking English. I had to learn. No,
I'm still learning English
every day. I had to learn because I have to do my TEFL, which is teaching English as a foreign language, and I had to learn how to teach English. It makes no sense. We make no sense.
No.
Read, read, it's all the fucking same.
Yeah.
Feminine.
Lead, led.
Oh my god, it just makes my head fart. It was so hard. So hard. But that side of things, the Vietnamese teaching was just unreal. Absolutely unreal.
How long did you do that for?
About a year.
Wow.
I had a pet duck.
You had a pet duck?
Yeah, it's called Steve.
Why Steve? And why a duck?
I really like ducks, mate. Do you know what I mean?
That's on your phone cover as well.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's not actually Steve. That's not the Vietnamese.
I was going to say, I was like, oh, the Vietnamese duck.
No, he's probably in a hoist and roll somewhere. Let's be honest now. He's dead.
I was not expecting that at all.
He's gone. Well, in the streets of Vietnam, honestly. Rest in peace, mate. Oh, poor cunt, honestly. The thing is, though, right, in Vietnam, like, you're walking down the street, right, and it's such a different culture.
Yeah.
Like, it is so different. Like,
Yeah.
I remember being really hungover one day and going to the market to get some scran, and I'd given up meat for a little bit. Steve was just there, like, take me home. So I'd went down the market one morning, hungover to shit, right? And I'd given up meat by this point because honestly it sounds awful, but the cleanliness of the food out there, especially I was living in Thai Nguyen, which is like a really poor province.
Okay.
The quality of meat and it's a good thing I'm ginger, I can fucking say that, wasn't great.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to eat meat for a little bit, so I just ate silken tofu off this woman who made it, who was like 95 years old, for 2 pence, I think. Anyway, went to the market one day, hungover to shit, and there was a dog on the table cut up.
Oh, really? Oh, fuck,
Yeah.
okay.
And I just started crying. I was hungover, I like dogs, you know what I mean? But over there, it's their culture.
Yeah, just anything, yeah.
It's their culture. Like,
Yeah,
they don't
yeah.
kill pets, but if there's a stray dog or something, like...
It's fair game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a fucking pot noodle. You know what I mean?
Dog pot.
Yeah.
Vietnamese dog pot noodle.
Yeah, so over there it was very, very different. But I can't remember where I was going with that. I just thought about the dog and I was just like, oh, me fucking dog.
Yeah. How did you get Steve?
So my manager, the night before, I remember me and Ashley, my friend from New Zealand, I met her in Australia the year before, walking down the street and there was just these boxes of chickens and ducks on the street. From far away, it looked like giant boxes of macaroni cheese.
Yeah, I can see
It was nice, yeah. And I just said to my manager as a joke, I was like, oh, I'd love a pet duck. And the next morning she rocked at my door and she was like, DJ Nicola! I miss her so much. And just gave me this fucking duck. And he was mine for 6 months.
Oh.
I love that kid. He used to fall asleep in my lap listening to Ed Sheeran.
I'm sure he was tasty in the end.
But I saved him, right? Even though he's
Yeah.
probably dead now, right? Because I asked her, when I went home, I asked her for photos of
cool.
him. And I'm sure she sent me photos of, like, just ducks off Google. He's alive!
It's got like
not
Shutterstock written across it as a wall. And you're like, this is a bit dodgy.
Yeah, so he's dead. But I gave him a good life for 6 months.
Yeah, good.
They
Oh.
made the best pets, but they get depressed on their own.
Yeah.
They get
So
very depressed.
you mentioned before that you were hungover in Vietnam, right? So obviously you mentioned to me that you had quite a wild phase with drink and drugs and all the
Yeah.
rest. So how did that sort of period of your life start?
I started drinking and stuff when I was like 12.
Wow.
I took my first pill when I was 13.
Do you remember what it was?
It was a PlayStation. It was a little grey thing. I couldn't swallow tablets at the time. My friends put it in bread for me.
What, like like are you trying to get a dog? I want to do drugs, but please put it in a sandwich first.
Put a bit of jam on. Swear down. I was 13.
Wow. Was it just like the wrong crowd that you were with, or was this just like your general
you know
friendship
what? I
group?
think when you're younger, like we used to go down the shop at like six o'clock on a Saturday morning till our parents would go to the gym with a little gym bag.
They knew that was bullshit.
Yeah, of course it is, man. And you asked a random person going by to get you 15 bottles of White Star without looking a bit sus, do you know what I mean? And then we all go down the park and drink. But I think it was just that time. There was no massive thing on social media. Like, we didn't have any phones or anything. We had a Nokia that used to light up at the sides.
Yeah.
Remember the one that had sponsored the X Factor?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had that. It took me ages to get it. By the time I got it, it wasn't fucking cool, obviously. So it was just one of them things. We used to go on the park every weekend and drink, and then I started smoking because that was cool.
Yeah.
And it just all kind of spiraled from there. But it wasn't really a problem until like the past maybe 5 years, I'd say. Then it was a problem.
What, when you say the past 5, you mean like 5 years like from now?
Oh, yeah, well, I've stopped drinking for 2 years now.
Yeah.
So I'd say just before that, that was when it was a fucking issue. Like, it stopped being fun. It was like I was drinking to block shit out.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, there's nothing wrong with drink.
Yeah.
I personally don't like it. I think it's poison. However, if it is not affecting your life in a detrimental manner, then I see no real problem with it.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit biased when it comes to it now. And I nearly lost one of my best friends due to alcoholism, do you know what I mean? And it's just, I feel like people do it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And they do it too much.
It's a coping mechanism, not a thriving mechanism. You
It
can't
is.
thrive when you drink all the time. You can't.
It dilutes you.
Yeah, you can't live an amazing, unless you're Jordan Belfort or the Wolf of Wall Street. You know, you can't live an amazing life if you're drinking and doing drugs all the time. You know,
Definitely not.
it requires. It drains your mental focus. It's just and the money as well. The money. That
Mate,
you
the amount of
spend
money
on it.
I've saved, like, it's insane.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
And the holidays I've been on, like, people are like, oh, they go on holiday, like, oh, we get pissed off all the time. You know what, right? I've been on 10 holidays since I stopped drinking, and there was not one point in those holidays I have sat there and gone, this would be better with the drink.
Yeah.
I've had a better time.
You never regret not drinking. You know what I mean? You always regret drinking, but you're like,
Yeah, exactly. And the anxiety the next day, like, who have I text?
but
Who have I done? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's horrendous. But I feel like more and more people are starting to be a little bit more sober curious now.
yes.
And
Well, you did like dry January and stuff like that now.
I've got a weird thing about dry January.
Okay, explain that one.
I think it's good in some aspects.
Yeah.
But I also think that when people do dry January, it's like, can't wait for February to get fucking arseholed.
I see what you mean, yeah.
And then all the companies are like throwing it at you again, do you know what I mean? But I think when being drink, I think it dilutes people. People are like, oh, it brings out the real them.
It doesn't.
It fucking doesn't. It dilutes you as a person. You become a bit of an arsehole. Like, your priorities go out the window. Like, people that have got issues with alcohol, it literally makes them quite selfish.
Yeah.
Like, that's all they think about.
Yeah.
I was never at that point as such, but it did get that point with, like, drugs and stuff in the past.
Yeah.
And the reason I quit drinking was because of drugs. I didn't want to do drugs anymore.
Yeah.
I thought the common denominator, there's more chance of my grandma getting a bag than me getting one sober. So I just stopped drinking. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's funny. I was out last Saturday, just with some friends. Like, we'll go to some clubs. We'll have like a few drinks or whatever. And I was like, well, I'm going to take the car. So this is my thing. I take the car because then I'm like, well, I'm not going to fucking drink. Am I? So I was like, oh, non-alcoholic kind of, like going up to the bar and they're like, what can I get you, mate? And I'm like, got any Heineken Zero? Do you know what I mean? Tastes fine to me. Corona Zero is unreal, by the way, if anyone's ever tried the Corona Zero.
I'm a big fan of that, you know.
Oh, well, each
I
other.
worked in a bar for years over COVID, and every
I
time someone's
suppose.
like, oh, can I have a Corona?
It's just easy to drink, that and salt, I
fair.
suppose, and
Yeah.
they're cheaper than like a pint and stuff. But you know, and I was out and I bumped into I'm not gonna name names and stuff, but I bumped into an old friend. Yeah, I still kind of talked to him about his ex-partner, and I was like, oh, how you doing? Like, like, have you seen such and such, whatever? But she was like really drunk and stuff, and like she'd lost, like, I think the only she had her keys on her. Her phone was out of battery. No way to get home. And I was like, I don't miss those days. I mean, I did put her in an Uber and sent her off. Like the guy was arguing with me. He was like, she's too drunk. She gonna throw up in my. I was like, bro, she can string a sentence together. She's not be sick. And he was like, what if?
I've grown up in many cabins.
He was like, what if she's? The accent was a bit racist. I apologize. But like, he was like, what if she throws up? I was like, fucking billers, you've got me details on Uber, and he did take it. I was just like, honestly, but she go and find out. But I was just like, I don't miss being in those states where I don't know where I am. I don't know how I'm getting home.
Yeah,
Everyone's
exactly.
fucked off, and like the room's spinning. And you know what? I woke up on Sunday. I had a little bit of a lie-in. Felt absolutely fine.
You will do
There's
though.
a
You
lack
don't
of
feel like a
poison
bag of
through my
dick
body.
the next day.
Exactly.
Like, you're more. It's like a spiral. You're more likely to eat shit. You're more likely to feel that shit. Not go to the gym for maybe a week because you feel like a bit, crap. Your immune system
after
gets
25,
battered.
your hangovers are like 3 days.
Oh my
So
God, I used to go out on the belt like when I was 18, like the Monday, the Tuesday, the Wednesday, the Thursday,
Yeah.
Friday. Be like, oh, I'll have a day off.
on a
Do you know what I
Friday-
mean?
You picked a Friday to have a day off.
I know, we used to go on a Monday. It was gay night and a Monday in Darlow. It was amazing.
Oh yeah, gay nights
Oh
are
my
always
God. All the drag queens walking around in stilts, handing out condoms and throwing lube at people.
I love Rusty's Show Bar. Have you been to Rusty's Show Bar?
Oh my God, where's that?
What, you know where? Do you know in the Times Square in Newcastle where the
Yeah.
Centre for Life is? So you've got
Yes.
Rusty's, which
Oh
was
my
kind
God,
of cool.
yes.
But next to it, you got Rusty's Show Bar, and there's always
Yeah.
like drag queen shows on. They're fucking
Yes.
hilarious.
Yeah.
So
I
funny.
must admit though, since I still go out, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Not as much because I'm like I like being comfort at home now, but
Yeah.
my social battery dies
Yeah.
so easily like that. But again, that's a good thing. It's nice going home and being like, oh, I'm going to go to some scran and just go and chill out.
Yeah, you have fun with your friends and you go home and chill. Yeah,
Exactly.
That's nice, yeah.
Exactly.
That's much better. But you actually mentioned to me what happened after your mum got a health scare.
Oh my God, yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah, so what happened?
You know
with
what?
that
Not even a lot of people know this. So obviously the time is now to start a podcast.
Well, you can tell as much or as little as you want. That's entirely.
Oh
your
no, I
podcast,
don't mind. It's got a positive outcome.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's a good indicator of how much it can fuck someone up. So my mum, bless her, she had a bit of a cancer scare.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to James Cook, and the guy sat us down with me, my grandma, my mum, and I think I was like 19, and they were like, oh, it's gone from like, it is cancer. It's gone from grade 1 to grade 4. And obviously my grandma was like, what the fuck? Well, she didn't say fuck because she's a very posh, wonderful old lady. Like, oh, Jesus.
Heavens.
Yeah, heaven and earth. And my mum was obviously absolutely devastated. I started crying. Rather than going home with my mum, I got dropped off at my flat or where I was living, and I got on the sesh for 4 days and didn't speak to her. Like, what the fuck? I would never dream of doing that now, ever.
Yeah.
But that's how much it really does kind of... It just makes you have no responsibility. Like, you put everything that's really important out the fucking window. And I always look back at that and I'm like, oh, fucking crank. Luckily, my mum's, she's in remission now.
Yeah. Did you ever speak to her about that? Did she ever bring that up? That you
No, she never brought it up. I think the whole day was a bit of a blur to her.
Yeah.
I did go to some chemo sessions with her. But again, I just wanted to go out. I was always like, oh, how long's it going to be? And looking back now, I wish I'd been a lot more supportive. But it was a drink and drugs. But... Yeah. Can't explain that. I was a bit of an arsehole as well. Can't put all the responsibility on that. But as you get older, you get a bit more wise to things, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things, like, for example, if I'm feeling a bit, like, stressed out or whatever, I reach for my phone and I scroll. And I'm like,
it's that short
what
dopamine
am I
hit.
doing? And I believe it's probably the same thing for someone who has an over-reliance on drink or drugs. It's like, a little bit of stress. I need some... Okay, I'm going to go for this. Like, people... It's like cigarettes, like smoking as well.
Exactly, because modern day society has made everyone fucking chronically stressed. So the lowest hanging fruits is things like alcohol, drugs, sex, porn, shit food. Because it gives you that little hit of like, I want to feel better now.
Yeah.
Rather than do something I don't want to do right now that'll make me feel better later.
Yeah.
That's like the part of your brain. I love this fact, right?
Go for it.
So there's a part of your brain, right? I think it's called the ATC. I probably got that completely wrong. But it can actually grow like a muscle. So athletes, for instance, have got a very big part of the brain called the ATC. That's because every time you do something that you don't particularly want to do that's hard, but it results in something good, you actually grow that part of your brain. It makes you more disciplined over every single aspect of your life. So people that are quite maybe lazy, that don't do a lot, theirs is quite small because they don't ever challenge it. But you can grow it like a muscle.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite fucking cool, though.
Yeah. No, it's pretty... I mean, it's like... For example, I mean, you'll know where people are at in their life by tend to be how they respond to certain things. Like, for example, right, like, I know people, if you put them in, like... You take them on holiday, right? You take them to Vietnam, for example, somewhere they've never been, and they're in this big city, and they're just like, within like, they might love it for like an hour, but then within like 2 hours, they've found stuff to complain about. Like, it's dirty here. I don't like the food. This is that. The hotel could be better, and you just like, you're in Vietnam, suck it up. But then you take someone else, someone like, well, I've developed this mindset. If I go there, I'm like, it's a little bit dirty, but it's the culture. I'm going to enjoy it. Do you know,
exactly.
It's two mindset shifts completely. But that is something that people think, well, I'm just that way inclined. And it's like, no. You are in charge. You can sort that out.
They are attaching themselves to an identity. Yeah. Don't make a point that's quite aggressive. They're attached to an identity. So, like, I've learned to do this over the past few months, actually. If I'm, like, angry or something, I'm like, rather than saying, I am angry, I feel angry. It's detaching yourself from that thing. It's not making you an angry person. I just feel angry. That's okay to feel angry sometimes. I felt excited and nervous this morning. Doesn't mean I am nervous.
It's okay if you are.
That was going so well.
I was embarrassed before. I'll just tell you this story, guys. So I picked Nicola up from the station just before there, and I turned a corner and hit a pothole, and my fucking wheel thing came off, and I was like, this is fucking embarrassing. I was like, I'm so sorry. She's like, no, I fucking love it. It's fine.
I don't care, mate. It's funny.
Yeah. But just shit like that happens. But it's funny to hear about people's mentality. But going back to the drink thing, like I don't know whose quote this is. It's probably Chris Williamson because he drops quotes left, right, and centre. But alcohol is the only drug that if you don't take it, people assume you've got a problem.
Yes.
And it's like,
I always have to kind of defend myself. I'm like, oh, I'm not drinking. Why are you pregnant?
Yeah.
Are you
No, I
in
can't use that. I
recovery?
can't use that excuse.
You know what? Actually, right, I was in Morrison's a while ago, and I saw my pal, and we were just having a chat, and he's like, "Oh, I need to go and get some beer." He's like, "You don't mind coming with me, do you?" I was like, "I'm not in fucking recovery. I can walk past the beer without having a stonking raging hard on. Like, I can literally walk past it. It's not an issue." But people are thinking that you've got an issue if you stop. Yeah. Like, it would have probably been an issue, but it was more the drug side. But like, I can walk past a bag of heroin now and not lose my mind. It's all good.
Yeah, just casually on the shops.
I never tried heroin, by the way.
Over there,
I didn't put that in perspective. Never tried heroin. Although I did wake up in a Thailand loft once and people were doing crystal meth, but that was a different story for a different
Your life in Vietnam is literally like that. Hangover 2, isn't it?
It was fucking today. It was absolutely. Do not regret a second of it. If people can travel, my God, travel. Like, it's just, the world is so big, mate, and it really, like, this is one of the things that really incentivises me, that was a good one, to be self-employed, not because of all the money I'm going to make. I'm not really asked about it. It's the fucking freedom.
Yeah. The time you can do what you want.
The freedom that comes with making a little bit more money, but, like, just being able to go off and go somewhere. Like, even just get the train here today. It's nice.
Yeah.
The freedom. Have a bit of freedom. Like, the world, like, we're all caged.
Yeah. Well, when I was 19, I wanted to do a lot of stuff to boost my confidence. Yeah. And I actually booked a flight to Australia by myself, so I went to Australia by myself.
Love that. Where did you go? I used to live there.
I stayed with a family friend who lived in Perth. And then I went to stay with some family in Adelaide. So, two very different places. Adelaide was quite cold and Perth was like, I'm fucking sweating. But like, what was really funny is I'm like in a vest and shorts because I'm fucking boiling in Australia. Yeah. And it was like winter there, so they're all in like coats and hoodies. And I'm just like, it's like 25 degrees. It's cold today. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, honestly, I loved Australia. But when I got off the plane to get there, there was a big sign in the airport, like, the deal of the day was 2 tour balloons for $40. Like, I can't fucking afford to live here. Yeah. I can't fucking afford it. But because the wages are sort of like, it's such a nice place, though.
Everyone's so cool.
Everyone's happy. Yeah. Because they're fucking warm.
Everyone calls you a cunt as a term of
endearment. I know, and
it's
a love language.
I love you too, cunt.
Well, I got a bit confused because thongs are something completely different over there.
They're like flip-flops.
I got myself in a bit of trouble with that, and they don't understand sarcasm. I'm quite sarcastic.
Yeah.
So I'd work in a restaurant, and they'd be like, "Oh, is there a toilet here?" And I was like, "No." And I'd be like,
oh, really?
I'll go somewhere else then, can't. And I'm like, right, okay, that's fair. Yeah. They just don't get it. So I struggled for the first few months with that one. But it's a gorgeous place. I love it.
It's a lush place.
Yeah. People need to travel. Like, that is what I would, if I was talking to someone who was a lot younger, it would sound like a fucking grandma, I would say fucking save up and go travelling.
Yeah.
Just opens your mind.
Don't worry about the house, the car, the family. Yeah, you got plenty of time for that. Just go and see the world.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know a few people who've never been out because some of my family have never been out of the country, and I'm just like, you're in your like 60s, 70s. You fucked now. It's too late.
Oh my God.
Well, no.
There can be backpacking 70-year-olds. Okay.
Well, yeah, true. But
there was actually
only if you look after yourself.
There was a guy called Claude, right?
Claude.
This guy, he was about 65, and he was in my hostel when I was in Thailand, I think it was. He just used to travel. He had a camera. Yeah. Didn't have a duck, and he would
was
just
he quite
literally...
fit too? Was he quite fit, like able to walk around?
Yeah, he used to walk around with no shoes. He used to like give me motivational quotes every day. Like, he'd walk around with some soup. Awesome guy.
Sounds like Gandhi. A little bit.
I hope he's still kicking about. That was like 12 years.
He's like one of them dudes that's gonna be 95 and still doing Ironmans and stuff. That's what he is.
God, they're amazing. That is doable though. People think that it's not, and it fucking is. Like,
yeah. Would you ever try an Ironman?
Probably not.
No. You're like, it's doable, but no.
No, I don't like running.
I fucking hate it. It's boring.
No, I just don't. I'm like,
no offense.
I'm like, wait, what are you running from?
Yeah, I've interviewed a few runners, and I'm just like, it's boring. I can't do it. But fair play to you.
I mean, hats off to you.
Yeah.
I get no enjoyment from it whatsoever. It's like going to a restaurant and ordering something I don't want to eat.
Yeah. What attracted you to fitness in the first place then?
Well, it was actually stemmed because I used to have a really wicked eating disorder, and I wanted to go to the gym.
I love the way you describe that.
Fucking awesome. I wanted to go to the gym. And I couldn't go to the gym if I didn't eat. So the gym actually saved me in a lot of ways. But I do think that I hope this mentality is going, but I'm sick of people trying to make themselves smaller. It shouldn't be about that, which we're obviously going to get into. But it's not about that. Be fucking strong. Like, build muscle. The more muscle you've got, the more chance you've got of fighting any kind of cancer.
Yeah. Like, apparently, if you lift weights as well, it increases your life expectancy as well. So.
Of course it does. And so does walking, not fucking running.
I do a bit of treadmill, but I'm not running.
No,
I'll walk. It does. It hits me. Do you know what? In lockdown, I try to skip. Fuck off. I'm not doing that again.
Oh, were you one of them guys? Oh, everyone tried something.
No, well,
I went through a banana bread loaf phase.
Oh yeah, everyone had that. Well, I had a phase where I was like, well, I can't go to the gym, but I had like the home weight set up and stuff, so I was kind of good. But I tried to skip, and I ended up with shin splints. My God, I have never experienced pain in my legs like shin splints.
That is what would happen if you started running.
It's fucking like my brother would come past, like, he'd walk through the living room and whatever, knock my shin, and honestly, I was like, I need to go on A&E. It was so painful. It just feels like your bone is completely shattered.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
I think I had them once. And actually, that was in lockdown as well. Maybe it was a thing.
Shin splints lockdown.
Yeah, and I had a coach at the time, actually. And he told me you put frozen peas. I was like, I've only got frozen carrots.
I've got tinned.
I've got some tinned. Plenty of vitamins there. Some corn.
So
I think everyone went through a little bit of a weird phase in lockdown.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
There was a Courtney Black phase, banana bread. So many things.
Lockdown. Like squat challenges and shit, yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, fucking hell. Jesus Christ.
Joe Wicks made a fucking killing during COVID.
Oh, didn't he? Just, man. And then everyone hated him because he said that bad food was giving kids autism or something. Poor cunt. He went down.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, swear down.
He's doing like Asda advertisements or something. Wow.
Because he said that processed food was contributing to kids' ADHD or autism.
Jimmy Oliver was like, haha, someone's got it worse than me now.
Oh, yeah, he sat there with some turkey to us just like, yes.
Yeah, I never said these cause autism, it's fine. Yeah. What age were you when you started going to the gym then?
I started going to the gym when I was like 17, but it wasn't like proper gymming.
Yeah, when did you start taking it like?
Seriously, probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I'd say. Maybe a little bit more, but I was still drinking and go to the gym with a hangover. It's not good, man.
I sweated out.
Oh, nah, you can't fucking sweat that shit out, do you know what I mean? Three bags for a wanna, sweat it out, yeah, okay, good one.
You need rest and bananas. That's what
Yes, you fucking do, honestly. Or a tuna panini.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Bit of onion.
Gym.
Bit of onion. Love it. Yeah, so this eating disorder that you mentioned, how much detail can you talk about that?
Which what?
The eating disorder.
Oh, yeah, I can talk about that all day long. Yeah, I think it's important.
Yeah, go for it.
I actually went to, they sent me to the Mulberry Centre in Darlington. They were like, oh, has anything happened to you when you were a kid? Like, trying to blame it on trauma and stuff. I was like, no, I just don't want to get fat. But I think it stemmed from when I started doing, do you ever heard of Bubble?
No.
Oh, God, it was rife in the northeast. It was like this plant
I wasn't part of the cool kids, so I don't know that.
No, I mean, looking back, it wasn't cool, mate, okay?
It probably
this is cool.
Okay.
That was not cool. We were
Okay.
sniffing plant fertiliser, for fuck's sake. It's like a tenner a gram online.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God. Gives me the shudders. Yeah, we all started doing that, and you could literally stay up for days on it.
Wow.
I did 9 days once.
9
That's
days.
rotten. I won't even have coffee after 2 p.m. now.
Can you still get this stuff? Just curious.
Asking for a friend. Yeah, it was horrible. But I think because I was on that all the time and I lost a lot of weight, like, my nickname was Skelly Whore.
What? Skelly Hall?
Yeah. I wasn't a whore, but it was just...
As in like skeleton, like He-Man
Yeah.
skeleton? Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
I lost a lot of weight. I looked fucking rotten. Obviously, back then I was like, oh my God, baby, you look amazing. To see your skull.
Yeah.
Like, it was awful. Like, cheekbones to die for. I'm probably going to die. So I lost a lot of weight. And it was peculiarly because I'd gone from being, average, there was nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
And then suddenly I just fucking bam, like, 5 stone. So then when I stopped doing drugs, I was like, I like being thin.
Yeah.
So I just carried it on, but I just, like, made myself sick or something.
Yeah.
Or developed a wicked addiction to laxatives at one point. That was fun.
Jesus.
Far too honest.
No, that's good though, because there's people out there who might have these sort of disorders.
And I said this before on the phone. When you're authentic, then it allows other people to also be authentic.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I know you're comfortable to talk about this, because the one thing I don't want to shy away from is the uncomfortable, because people need to hear these real.
100%. Man.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want people to come on and be like, "Oh, well, I made £1 million and I do this and I don't."
I
drink
never shit.
Yeah, I never pick my nose. It's disgusting. You know what I mean? It's like
100%.
But do you know what's funny? I don't want to just read or watch things about people who are successful and how they made success. I want to see examples where they picked their nose, where they tripped over, where they stumbled over their words, because I want to see people who have fucked up, made mistakes, because they're human.
Exactly.
We forget. It's like,
oh my God.
That's why what happens is with this podcast as well, I never like to pause. I had to pause during the last one, the Hot Ones one, because the Hot Wings one. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, you shit yourself, didn't you?
No, I got it in my fucking eye and I went blind.
Oh yes, you did.
But so I had to go downstairs and I had to pause it. But I don't like to stop it mid podcast because I like to keep because people see if someone fucks up a word, I'm like, oh, don't want to edit that out. I'm going to leave it in because it adds that authenticity. It's like a proper conversation. That's what I love
And the thing is, I would never go to advice of someone to stop drinking if they'd never had a fucking drink.
Yeah, exactly.
What could they possibly tell me? Sheila, who's 60, who's never had a glass of wine in her life, like, do you know what I mean? Because I couldn't get any advice from her. I don't know why I picked on Sheila.
Sheila's Wheels, that's what it reminds me of.
That's a good point. But I feel like people have got to be quite honest about what they've been through, because it then helps someone else what they might be going through.
Mm-hmm.
So as much as I know that 98% of my eating disorder has completely gone, I do feel like it sometimes never completely go. But rather than letting the food have control over me, I now have control over the food.
Yeah.
Which is a very nice place to be.
How did you go through that then? How have you, if 90% of it's gone, per se, how did you do this?
I was actually sat thinking about this last night, And
did you know it would come up today?
I just had a feeling. Yeah. So I can't even pinpoint it. It's a little bit like you don't notice every day the impact of brushing your teeth has on your teeth. But you wouldn't stop doing it. It just kind of... That was a really shit analogy. But...
No, it's not, because actually...
Does that make sense?
Brushing your teeth actually extends it. We live longer just because we brush our teeth.
I use a bamboo too.
Just saying.
Yeah, so you don't really notice what happens. It's just one day you're like, oh shit, yeah. I don't throw up every time I eat a pot noodle now.
Yeah.
Don't eat pot noodles anyway. But, it just happened. And it's a gradual thing. But it's more importantly, it's sustainable. Because... I will never go back to feeling like shit again. Refuse to.
Well, this is the thing. Most people, they get on crash diets, like the 7-minute abs and stuff, right? But what it is you cannot sustain that, right? Every diet...
I hate the word diet. We all eat a human diet. Where the fuck has this negative diet thing come from?
It's a lifestyle.
When you hear the word diet, people automatically assume Sheila... is in
Let's
the
pick
office.
on Sheila, yeah.
Fucking Sheila is sat in the office with a bowl of leaves, telling her colleagues that she's trying to lose weight for holiday.
But you know what's funny? I've known people who've done the marine diet, where it's just eggs or some shit, right? And I'm just like, okay, so you do the shitty diet, right? And you lose, I don't know, a couple kilograms, and you're like, oh, this dress fits or whatever, the Christmas party's coming up, whatever. And then a month later, you stop doing this diet. All that's going to happen is you're going to go back to the old ways because you didn't ingrain those. Exactly. You didn't ingrain the habits that it took to lose that weight. You don't respect the process.
Exactly.
You took the quick fix and it's fucked you over in the long term.
Quick fixes do not fucking work.
No.
And honestly, it's getting to the point now where... And you know what the most toxic thing I think has been taken from this particular sentence? Eat less, move more.
It's a very basic statement.
I hate that statement.
It's a very basic. It is technically a way. It's not the full context of the conversation, is it?
How much you eat. It's almost like that's where the diet culture's come from, because everyone's like, oh, just eat less and move more.
Yeah.
But it's not about exercising more and eating less. Because what you eat is so much more important than how much you eat.
So my next question was actually that you said to me you prefer chemicals over calories, and I was like,
100%.
Ooh, this is an interesting statement. So you had a lot of beef with people who count calories almost, right? Beef. Now, I love beef. So we're not obviously talking about a lot of the fitness people we've had on this show. We always say calories in versus calories out is basic science and cannot be avoided. Yes, there are some people, like I have an auntie, for example, has ME, so it makes it very difficult to move. She doesn't sleep very well and stuff. She's not going to be, it's calories in versus calories out for her is not going to be a good way to say it, because it's she can't move properly, so she's not going to burn anything. It's a stupid thing to say. But for the majority of people who don't have a health condition, calories in versus calories out is a good place to start, I would say. You disagree though. When not completely, but you explain your point.
Not completely. So obviously calories are a thing. I'm not trying to say they don't exist.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm not trying to argue the law of thermodynamics, you know what I mean? Yeah. But food is not just calories. It's information. It is code. You've got the chance to rewrite some of your microbiome. It affects your mood, everything. It can either upregulate or downgrade your entire structure of your body simply by eating certain different things.
Yes.
So, I told you about the argument with that guy on Instagram.
Burgers and dates.
I've mentioned this to you 9 times. You probably think I've got a fucking...
It's written down here as well. So
really? Oh my God.
Yeah, because I knew it was a good point then. You want to make it so,
this is a really good point. So, this Australian guy was sat there and he was got some dates and he got a fucking McDonald's burger and he's like, not everything is health. That is not even an Australian accent. What the fuck was that? So he's got a punnet of dates, right? And he's got a burger from McDonald's. And he's saying basically, just because dates are a health food, they've actually got as many calories in as a burger. For someone who doesn't really understand very well, and they go on Instagram and they're like, oh, can't eat dates. Fuck.
Yeah.
Like, that is awful.
Yeah.
One, those dates will have a completely different effect on your blood sugar as opposed to a fucking burger
Absolutely.
will. So when you say calories are the only thing that matter, not you personally, but when I get all these influencers online and all they talk about is calories, they're actually downgrading their food choices based on a number.
Yes.
Because 35 calories sells a lot better than 35 ingredients.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's like as in simple terms, 1,000 calories worth of chicken breast is better than 1,000 calories worth of crisps.
Exactly.
It's just people. We think people don't know this. People should know this.
No, but the thing is, they actually don't though. And
It's
sometimes it's
crazy.
stupidity and ignorance, but sometimes it's just lack of education, and that's okay. Like, not everyone is going to know everything, but it is your responsibility to learn things. Do you know what I mean?
Well, when I first started the gym, I was like I told you on the phone, I was very natural. I was just as skinny as a rake. Right?
I know. You know what? I actually looked at our transformation. Fucking unreal, mate.
Thank you
really
very much.
well
I
done.
appreciate
That is
it.
amazing.
And do you know what I started with as well? Because I
What?
couldn't seem to gain weight. Right, I was eating, the thing that added mass to me, and I don't recommend this. I actually got a lot of shit. I made a clip with James Hatton, who I had on the podcast. I made this clip to talk about this, and it went viral, and loads of people hated on me, and I was like, "Fuck you." So it was basically I used to drink. It was imagine like a full milk carton, right?
Right.
And it had like obviously the whole milk in
Right.
whole milk. It had like I can't remember now, protein powder, creatine, peanut butter, full cream as well, like pouring cream, and like loads of shit. And I just blend it up, and I would drink it throughout the course of the day. It's like 3,000 calories.
The only thing that I would change on that is the peanut butter to almond. That is
Almond
unreal.
Almond butter's actually nice. I don't like at the bottom of the tubs that when it gets hot.
Peanut butter's down as a health food. It's actually not. It's a regime.
It's a loom. I say loom.
And is that how you pronounce it?
I don't know.
Have I been pronouncing it wrong the whole time?
Maybe I've been
living a
pronouncing it
fucking
wrong.
lie.
Peanut is not a nut. Is it a loom? What did you say it was?
Legume.
Legume. Maybe. Is that French?
With the silent H.
I don't even know how to spell.
I haven't got a fucking clue.
I don't know.
But no, I haven't got a clue.
I literally drink that, and I would eat like the serves 2 mashed potato from Asda. I'd just eat that for them.
Yeah, that's what I'm judging you on that. Like, make
and,
more fucking potato.
and I just laziness. I worked in a restaurant. It's like 2 a.m, mashed potato in the microwave. You know?
But the drink, lethal. People, I mean, it's got the wrong word anyway. Fat does not make you fat.
You actually need healthy fat.
Of course you do.
Fat,
Our brain needs cholesterol.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason that, I mean, because everyone is so focused on weight loss, they don't care how they get there, which is why the whole skinny pendant epidemic has come forward, and that really is grated on my tits.
We're going to get
lately.
into that in a minute.
Oh, right, okay, that's fair.
Go
I'll leave that then. I feel like the best thing I can explain to someone who doesn't really understand it all is what you eat determines how much you eat.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You couldn't go through 15 ribeye steaks, but you could probably eat 15 biscuits.
Yes.
Because the effect that would have on your body and how much it would make you feel so much better. So I'm not trying to say that calories are a load of shit, but I personally believe the only reason people would need to count calories is if they are still eating shit.
Yes.
If you're eating food from fucking God's garden, you do not need to count calories.
Yeah.
And plus as well, especially when it comes to women, we react to stress and our bodies physically show it. Like when we are stressed, we pile weight on. We hold on to cortisol. Like our cortisol goes up, we hold on to it. If you're constantly getting someone to count their fucking calories every single day, it's fucking stressful.
It's a pain in the arse.
Like, oh, I can't have this matcha. It's got far too many calories. Like our ancestors did not run around the playing fields with MyFitnessPal.
But the different thing was they ran.
Without the fucking shield, the splint shits.
You imagine carrying armor and shields and spears and sprinting? Fucking hell.
They just did a light gallop.
Do you know what I learned the other day? Have you ever seen the show Spartacus? Great show, by the way, if you haven't.
No, I haven't.
It's an amazing show.
Right,
but
okay.
like in that show, all the gladiators are like ripped, and I'm talking like 5% body fat kind of level,
Yeah,
right?
that's fair.
And when you look, and apparently historically gladiators would have been actually quite fat, but like
Really?
well, like podgy because they were fed like this gruel stuff. They weren't just like you don't get a physique like that from eating porridge. You just
Of course
don't,
you fucking
right?
don't.
But that's what they didn't just
I'm not
have
a big fan
access
of porridge,
to.
mate.
I'm not a fan. I don't mind it,
It's
but
really nice when you put things in it.
I put protein powder in mine. Like make
That's
it like.
fair.
Remember, I used to have chocolate ready bread as a kid, and now I make like just protein powder. I've got chocolate digestive protein powder and it's lush and porridge.
I mean,
But-
I'm not a big fan of protein powder anymore. I just
No?
can't get it.
I got a vegan one. It's quite nice.
That's fair. Are you vegan?
No.
Oh, okay.
Only because the whey protein started to really bloat me out. Like I drink oat milk and I have the the vegan powder in it. It's nicer, and I don't feel as fucked from it. I don't feel like I need to shit my pants every 5 minutes.
I honestly just think though, like, I used to have a lot of protein powder. Like I used to have it every single day, but my gut, my microbiome, everything is completely healed from not having it. And I think I think it's like 48% of an egg translates to human tissue. 16% of protein powder does.
Yeah, I mean it's not the best way to get your protein level, but if you are, I mean, it's very hard once you reach a certain.
That one we
weight
saw downstairs, that's brilliant. That
the bone broth protein.
Oh my god, yeah, it's better than the one I've got in my bag, which is just
the
like,
bone broth one downstairs is like 18 grams of protein per scoop.
Yeah.
Mine is like 28 grams per scoop.
Just
but
think real food trumps everything.
It does, and I do eat a lot of real food. I will never say to someone, eat shit but take protein powder, because it doesn't work. I mean, I have the eggs.
That's a little bit like telling someone to still eat shit but have the supplements.
That's what I mean. It's called a supplement. It's not.
Exactly.
It's not a meal replacement. It
You
even
can't
tells
go
you that
on
on
the
the
fucking
thing.
gear all weekend and then have some shillage. Do you know what I mean? Not gonna help.
I'm not going to touch steroids ever. I don't need to be that big. I don't need.
You've done, like I said to you before, mate. You've done unreal.
Thank you very much.
Don't need to.
But I mean,
the full milk thing, that was a good shout.
It was honestly so bad for me. I felt rotten, but I would drink. It was like 3,500 calories over the course of a day, plus meals as well, and it worked.
Just steak and eggs.
It's just I had steak and eggs. Well, I worked at a restaurant, right, and I used to have. This is what I did to gain weight. I used to have like on my break, you get an hour break in a restaurant because it's tiring dealing with the
I
public.
got like 10 minutes when I worked in the restaurant. What the fuck did you work?
Where was
on
that?
Harbour. It was in Australia.
Oh, fuck that, I got an hour. And I would have a 3-course lunch on my...
Really?
Yeah, it was fucking expensive, but when you got tips and you're all smiley like me, you can afford it. So it was like, I used to have like these... It was TGI Fridays, used to have like chicken strips or wings for starters, because protein. And then I would have the 16-ounce rump steak with like some veg and like something else.
So much. It makes me so happy.
And then I would have an Oreo... Sunday afterwards, yeah, and that was, and then I'd want to die because I felt so full, and I had to go run around. I just
want to die.
And I would just be like sat there, like, oh my god, this is so full. But you know, it worked, and you got to do what you got to do. Yeah. But that, I mean, even now, like, even with like looking at my body, I'm like, I kind of want to trim down a little bit now. Or sometimes I'm like, I look really skinny. It's just, I think anyone that trains or gets into it as a lifestyle,
when they've done some like such a big transformation as you've done, I think you're always going to have that little thing in your head that's like. Going back to that of what.
Well, here's a question for you then. Do you ever still feel like the fat person?
A little bit, yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah, I still feel like the skinny kid.
Occasionally.
Yeah. It just creeps in there, doesn't it?
Yeah, but now what I'm trying to do is this is what I try and get my clients to do as well. Like I said before, like everyone is so focused on losing weight that is the only thing, and it's like, what I try to get my clients to do is focus on health. That's why I'm not a weight loss coach, I'm a longevity coach.
Yeah. Well, you don't do diet plans either, do you?
No, I teach them about food. And they can make their own diet plan, because as much as I've got a lot of respect, there's a lot of courses out there that are mint, do you know what I mean? They'll give them a diet plan, follow it, some calories on, whatever. But I've had them before, and it is good, and you're healthy for that time frame, but once you're not with them anymore, what do you do? Go back to that same food plan? I want to help people make their own protocol, then they can be healthy for a lifetime. Does that make sense?
It's like the show a man a fish kind of vibe, isn't it?
Oh my god, I love that saying. Yes, feed a man a protein shake.
Give a man a fish, you leave for a day or something.
Yeah.
We just completely went off there.
It's flavour, so it's fine. But again, there's a lot of there's so much contradictory information on the internet. Like, it's a
this is the thing, we probably confuse people with this, but I would just to sort of clarify. So, watch the foods that you do eat, the types of food that you eat. Don't be too consumed with calories, but I think if you don't understand how you keep gaining weight, I think calories is a good way to start, because it's very simple to be able to, it's a pain in the arse, but it's at least simple. And then also while you do that, maybe learn about the food choice at the same time. But I think most people with common sense know that eating a chicken breast is better than piling down Biscoff paste or something.
Chicken breast any day.
Oh really?
Oh my god, yeah, 100%. The skin is so good for you. Your house, your body's like a house. Like, you've got building blocks, which is your food. The bits in between your cement. And that's like your bone broth, your collagen, your chicken skin. That's what keeps your fucking house from wobbling. Do you know what I mean?
Your house from wobbling. I love that.
Yeah, it stops you from fucking wobbling.
I love it.
But as well, I feel like it's kind of got a bit Pete Tong, because this whole... You might not agree with this one, but here we go. The balanced diet. People are like, 80-20. A balanced diet is not a balance of cauliflower and steak in one hand and your fucking McDonald's in the other. It's not a balanced diet.
Yeah.
The balanced diet is a diet of all your macro and micronutrients, your proteins, your fats and your carbs. Where the fuck has this even come from? It's so flawed.
It's just becoming what...
So flawed.
Work-life balance is bullshit and food balance is bullshit. It's like you either take it seriously or you 100%, don't.
Exactly. And that's almost like them saying, for 20% of your diet, eat shit. Because everything in moderation is a gateway to a lot of fucking bad shit.
You can eat 20% shit and 80% good if you move like fuck. And what you do, but the problem
thing is though, if you eat, I mean, I won't lie, I'm about 95.5, right? Mm-hmm. Because the more that you eat the good stuff, the less you want to eat the bad stuff. People don't realise that the mechanisms in your brain, I think it's actually sort of connected with alcohol and the addiction to shit food. Mm-hmm. They're actually on the same kind of wavelengths. Yeah. So there is actually an addiction to food. These food companies fucking know this. They know exactly what they're doing. When you eat fat and sugar at the same time, your dopamine receptors go off like a fucking Christmas tree. And that's why they can't stop eating it. But once you stop eating it, you stop craving it.
Yes.
So as much as on paper I might sound quite strict, but I'm like, no, I can't let you have McDonald's just because it's in your macros. Yeah. It's fucking shite. It's not food. It's not food. Yeah.
I remember listening. Do you know Les Brown, the speaker?
Les Brown, nah.
I love him, right? I'm going to send you his link after. He's what got me into all this when I was like 18. He's amazing. But he has a story where he's talking about his friend who needed to lose weight and whatever. And he's like, I'll go to the gym eventually. He went to the doctors eventually because he had a problem with his heart or something like that. And he's like, how long will I have to live? And he's like, you could live a good life, but you'll probably be impotent. He went to the gym the next day. And sometimes it just takes that one thing, you know?
Of course it does. But you know what? Even I hurt my back a while ago, and oh my God, have you ever hurt your back before?
Yeah, deadlifts.
Fuck yes, thank you. Yeah, it's a fucking scary.
Deadlifts are not worth it.
Oh my God, they're so not. I literally get heart palpitations every time I go. I do them once a week, right? And I get like sweaty palms, like, you know that Eminem song, like palms are sweaty, courgette, whatever it was.
Mom's spaghetti.
That's a fucker. And I literally get like I get really thingy because I had a bulging disc in my back about 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And I actually went to the doctors. My coach is amazing. He sorted me out anyway, but I went just to be just extra careful.
Safe. Yeah.
She basically called me stupid for lifting weights.
The fuck?
She called me stupid. She was basically known certain terms. She was like, it's very dangerous what you're doing. You shouldn't be lifting weights. And I was like, it's actually more dangerous to not fucking move. Yeah. Like, building muscle as a woman is so fucking important.
Yeah. It's also a lot harder as well.
Yeah, it is. I wasn't born with a dump truck. Do you know what I mean? I still haven't got one now. But people have got to work harder, and that's unfortunately what puts a lot of people off. It's the fucking effort that got to put into it. It's just...
Unless you want to start taking testosterone, Nicola.
Give me time. Yeah. Tomorrow.
That voice is going to go. The 5 o'clock shadow is going to come in. And
I'll call you when that happens.
There was a woman who used to train at my gym. I don't know who she is, but she was fucking stacked. I never heard her voice, but I reckon it was like fucking...
you know what?
I heard
That's
it was
when
Morgan
it goes
Freeman
too far,
level
that, though,
deep.
do you know what I mean? I've got a lot of respect for people that train.
Oh, yeah, same.
But when your clit starts turning into a dick, it's time to stop.
You heard it here first, folks. When your clit turns into a dick. When your clit has a stiffy. Amazing. This is This is the first official podcast of 2025, and we've already been cancelled at least 6 times. We've done an Asian accent. We've done some sort of Indian accent. We've said the word clit and cunt so many times.
No, I do think though it can go. There can be a very unhealthy obsession with something that is actually started off as healthy. Which is what, because I was actually going to do bodybuilding this year even. The coach I had for that, she was amazing, very very healthy woman. Amazing role model, but because I have actually had an eating disorder, because of what I'm trying to teach my girls, because a lot of the people that come for me, they're like, I want to lose weight, but a lot of them at the minute, they're actually coming for me because they want to get healthier in general, wellness.
That's better.
Of course it is, because the thing is, right, like, the lasses that come for me, there's lads as well, to be fair, they start off by, like, just focusing on weight loss, and they're like, right, I want to lose weight, and then they're like, my nails have grown, my periods have come back, my PCOS symptoms are not as bad. My sex life's come back. I'm fucking chatting my partner again. Like, my mood's better. And then the last thing they're actually focused on is the weight loss. And because that's not what they're focusing on, the stress has gone down. They actually lose weight because the fucking body can breathe.
And they feel better. You treat yourself better as a result. That's it.
To me every day, I'm hilarious. So that's kind of what I'm trying to get around to people. So as much as I had an amazing coach, I still do. Obviously, I've got Matt now, who's very focused on other things. My coach, when I was going to be doing bodybuilding, unreal. I don't think it's the message that I want to give across to my clients.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it would be teetering especially for me, it's quite a danger to like lower my food. I have food freedom now, and it is fucking liberating.
Yeah.
I can just go to the fridge and just get some fucking cheese out and just bite it because I want to have some cheese because cheese is life.
Amen.
Because I know how to eat now,
Yeah.
and I've got the food freedom. I'm trying to teach other girls to not be so fucking stressed about food.
Yeah.
Like we control food. Food doesn't control us, and that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. So as much as on paper I'm saying no, you can't have a fucking McDonald's. I've got better intentions for you than just a fucking calorie.
Yeah.
I want to
100%.
make your life better than that. Do you know what I mean?
I'm glad you just moved back because I was just going to say you're moving further and further
I know.
down the
I
table.
felt
here.
your eyes.
I'm like, where are you going?
Get
like,
the fuck
out the door. So I was talking to you on the phone, which is really funny, and I've wanted to get this on the podcast for ages because not many people seem to have seen this, and I find it amazing that Wall-E, you've never seen it.
No, is that right? So you said it was a little robot guy,
so
right?
he
Like
basically,
Wall-E.
so the Earth has gone to shit, and Wall-E is like this clean up trash robot. It's really cute, and he just goes Wall-E, and it's really cute, right? But there's a scene at the beginning where it shows you the last like bits of humanity, and they're all like these fat people in chairs, and the screen kind of comes around them, and like food's just ready, and the world went to shit because everyone became lazy and fat and unhealthy, and then had to move off planet because they trashed it. And I'm just like, this is kind of creepily true. This could happen.
What? Yeah, it's awful.
And I'm like, and then we started talking about these pens. So this is where we're going to get into pens. So explain to everyone listening what these pens are and why you have such a beef with them.
So it's semaglutide, and basically it was originally found because it was a pen for obviously to save people's lives who've got diabetes.
Yes.
And one of the side effects was weight loss. So then, fast forward, you've got people on Facebook selling it to people that want to lose some weight for Ibiza next month. They are injecting themselves with semaglutide. So it's almost a bit like, so obviously I told you about, obviously ITV were going to interview me because I had a client that helped lose loads of weight. She tried the skinny pen, didn't work for her, she was really poorly. Helped her lose 3 stone, but apart from that, obviously I've helped other people as well. So they wanted to get me on ITV. I fucking hate the news anyway. I'm not sure why I even had any smidgen of faith it was going to be on. To interview me to say that I was endorsing, rather than going for a skinny pen, exercise and fucking decent food. Do you know what I mean? Don't be scared of food. Eat food. You might even put weight on while you're trying to sort your metabolism out. Anyway, so they got me on there, and then the date was supposed to be on, they cancelled it because the NHS have rolled an official statement out saying that these pens are good to go at some point. So the message that I was saying about exercising and good food doesn't align with their message.
Which is crazy.
It's fucked up. It's fucked up. Like, and I actually got a bit overwhelmed not because of I didn't want to be on the TV because I wasn't really asked about that anyway. It was almost like, oh my God, we are properly fucked. Like, like what the fuck? And it's just a bit overwhelming. I've had a couple of moments like this actually, where everything is so fucked. You're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I'm like one girl from Darlow with red hair and autism. By day. Do you know what I mean?
By night, I'm Batman.
Not all heroes have vapes. So I was just like, fuck me, this is mental. Like, you can't even get the message out. And what I think had happened is the NHS and the government and the media, they were trying to get rid of the black market jabs because that made them no money. But the NHS, that will make them a fucking fortune. So what they've effectively done is they've filled our shelves with shit food. Everyone's put weight on, everyone's sick, everyone's, you know, oh, here we are. We're your hero. Here's a pen. Fuck off. Like, fuck off. And it really, really riles me, as you can probably tell.
Well,
sorry, Mike.
The funny thing is, weight loss pens, I don't think, in theory, are a bad idea. The problem with it is when it becomes the go-to before looking after yourself, becoming healthier, having an active lifestyle, not being a fat, greedy cunt, and just actually looking after yourself like you actually matter.
The problem is, why are these even a thing?
Well, they were always going to be a thing. If there's a problem, someone will try and make a product to fix it.
You know what, right? One of my clients, he's doing mint. Like, I fucking love him. He's sound as fuck. I won't say names, obviously. Even though I'd love a shout out.
You can shout him out if you want. It's up to you. As long as it's not going to get him in trouble, I mean.
Oh, no. Well, actually, it wasn't even that story. It wasn't even related to that. James, I'll do a shout out to him anyway. James, love him. He's absolutely sound as fuck.
Shout out, James.
He had a friend of a friend of a friend who'd basically said that they were doing the Ozempic and they were buzzing because they were losing weight and they were still having having like a sausage roll from Greggs in the morning and they were still losing loads of weight. Mm-hmm. So the problem is people are doing these jabs and they are learning fuck all about nutrition.
Yes.
So when they stop taking them, because they're going to have to eventually stop taking them, they're going to put the weight on back as much because you don't only lose fat with them, you lose your muscle. And when you lose muscle, your metabolism slows down. Mm-hmm. When your metabolism slows down, you put weight on. So when they stop taking the fucking jabs, because you can't jab yourself up every day, they're going to put the weight on twice as much, but it'll all be fat because they've got no muscle left. They're going to be like a bag of fucking yoghurt. And it's not just people that have got quite a lot of weight. I think it's very irresponsible for doctors to be handing them out like sweets, to be completely honest with you. There's some that aren't. I think it's really irresponsible.
The problem is, human nature is to do the minimal amount of effort for the
least
maximum amount of
resistance,
results.
path of least resistance.
But it's like, if you go to a doctor because you're fat and you get knee pains or something like that, because you got to carry all this, right? And they say to you, you need to move more and you need to eat less shit. You're just going to go find another doctor who's going to give you a quick fix pill. Mm-hmm. How did we get to this stage? Like, you get people getting cancelled for saying things like this.
Honestly, it goes back to
as
money.
a conspiracy,
don't want you to get cancelled.
That's fine. You can't cancel me on my own show.
Pharma.
I love Big Pharma.
I love Big Pharma.
I'm so happy you profited off the COVID vaccine. Yeah,
love that. I'm my new best mate.
But no, I do love the odd conspiracy theory, and I do believe there is a lot out there.
Conspiracy theorist is someone who is right early.
I like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, not everyone, because I listened to a 4.5 hour debate about flat Earth, and I was like,
"Oh, you didn't? What a waste of time!"
No, it was fucking brilliant.
I suppose.
My favorite podcaster of all time. I'm gonna get not that he's ever gonna hear my
4
podcast.
Hours, wow.
He's called Michael Sartain, and he's in Vegas, right? And he interviewed like several flat earthers at once, and he had like an airline pilot, and he used to be in the military himself, Michael.
Yeah.
And he had the flat earthers on, and honestly, listening to their arguments, part of me was like, maybe the Earth is flat. And I was like, no, I'm driving. I can't think like this. I'm driving, And I was just like, but like the arguments that they come up with, they're so convinced. But that you can convince yourself of anything. It's creepy.
You can do. I think there's got to be I hate when people are like, have you got any peer-reviewed studies to prove that you're... Fuck off. Like, sometimes doing something yourself is fucking science because it's fucking worked. I'm not trying to say that what I've done is based on obviously what I've done myself.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it's just fucking... We're such a stupid community at the minute.
I just love people that were like, my friend did this and it worked, and I'm like, great. Like, my friend said this and I believe them.
My friend did Manjaro and lost 5 stone in a day. Your friend might be dead soon. Yeah, I think honestly, like, it's just, it comes under such an umbrella, but I think you've just got to think for yourself sometimes. Like, does this sound ridiculous? Yeah, a little bit. But to be fair, I had because I was ranting about these skinny pens for ages. I was literally going full. I think I got so many people unfollowing me because I wouldn't shut up about it. But there was people reached out to me saying that they're now infertile because they've taken them. Mm-hmm. They've got the zero muscle. They were really poorly. One person's pancreas exploded.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's unnatural stuff in the body.
People are still doing it because they want that fucking quick fix. They want to do it now, like, Slimming World Herbalife.
Herbalife, there's a blast from the past. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
I do love Jim Rohn.
Have this shake. It's just like having some broccoli. Have a stir fry, shut the fuck up.
Well, I think for a lot of people as well, I think one thing that trips people up on calories wise and stuff like that is oils and stuff as well. Like the oils that we're putting in our bodies is very... I mean, we did a video, me and shout out to Luke again, who I mentioned on every episode of the show. We showed what 1,000 calories of oil looks like, and it's about that much or something, like 1,000 calories. And then we did like 1,000 calories of sprouts, and it was like 3 Tupperwares full of sprouts or something for 1,000 calories.
What oil did you use?
I think it's just like olive oil or something like that. I think it was like, I can't remember
the effect of certain things have on your body though. So yes, okay, full fat milk with the cream, everything, it's going to be more calories than, say, a vegan milk, right?
Not necessarily. Oat milk's quite high in calories as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So. But the things... So the reason that I think the obesity's gone on the rise since the 70s is not because the amount of food people are eating, it's what's in the food.
Yes, the chemicals.
It's ruining our metabolisms. Plus, obviously, the life that we live, it's fucking stressful.
Yes.
Everything has a part to play in it. But our ancestors, our grandparents probably ate a lot more saturated fat, and they moved probably and exercised less. They went to go to CrossFit or boot camps every 5 days. And they didn't put as much weight on. So what the fuck has happened? It is the shit in the food.
Yeah.
and it's becoming more and more apparent, I think. So as much as, yes, there probably is more calories in a tub of butter than there is in maybe oat milk or something, the things that are in that oat milk, the emulsifiers, it's the same kind of thing sometimes that are found in deodorant and eye drops, and it is ruining people's guts, chronic disease, all this kind of stuff. So it's got such a massive part to play, and now I feel awful because we promised this podcast to be funny, and I'm just going on about seed oils.
It has been funny, yeah. The thing is, it's informative too. So.
Yeah, I wanted to get my point across. I think
100%.
that it was really important to me to do that because I just want people to eat real food. It makes such a difference.
Here's the thing, guys. Here's the truth. You ready for this? Strap in, guys. Right. the fastest way to lose weight is slowly.
Because, thank you. Sustainable.
Yes,
thank you.
Every diet works, but which one can you stick to and which one is sustainable? Because if you are overweight and you need to lose weight, sorry, it's a long road. You're going to have to suck it up.
Truth hurts,
will have to.
But it's tough love,
yes.
but it's still love.
It is.
Of course it is.
It's love out of... It's just care. It's care.
It's care.
We care about you.
We're ginger and we care.
We
can fight crime.
Do you want to be Batman or Robin? Which one do you want to be?
Oh my God, I don't
Is
know.
there any
I
ginger
sound like
superheroes?
Batman this morning, to be fair, when I woke up.
Is there any ginger superheroes?
It's the Eve woman with the leaves.
Oh, Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
Eve woman.
That fucking Eve woman.
But to lose weight, you have to, and keep it off, is you have to develop the habits that allow you to live that as a lifestyle, which means you are more calorie aware, you're more chemical aware, you move your body, and you just make it a lifestyle. The fastest way to lose weight is slowly.
Plus as well, the foods that I have my clients eating, they fucking love it. Yeah. It's not a diet.
You don't have to eat chicken, rice, and broccoli for every meal. You don't have to do it.
Single day. You don't have to stress out. Just eat real food, and all that will just melt. And just the more you eat real food, the less likely you are to eat shit, and it won't feel like a diet. It'll feel like a lifestyle. And before you know it, you feel unbelievable.
Well, that's it to you, right? Genetics do play a part for a lot of people. So for me, being a naturally skinny kid, my genetics are, you're probably not supposed to be muscular. You're supposed to be skinny and like a little runner person. And I was like, no, fuck
runner
you.
Bean.
Because I could, yeah, exactly. I was a runner bean. So for me, to gain weight is just a lot harder. Yeah. But that's fine because I'm willing. I got to work hard. I got to eat maybe a little bit more than most people. Work out what works for me and then do it. The problem is people go, well, I don't know too much about overactive thyroids, but people blame that a lot. Or they're like, well, my mom was fat, so I'm always going to be there. It's like...
It's a little bit of a victim mentality. It's an excuse to not do it.
It is. I mean, they do play a part. If you've got an illness or something...
They do massively play a part. And I've got utmost respect for anyone that will actively try and make their life better, healthier, more positive. I've got so much respect for those people. There's a phrase, isn't there? The results that you are lacking is in the work that you are avoiding.
Yes.
Oh my 100%. God, get in. I didn't even rehearse that.
100%. You got nailed it on one. Yeah. You know what's funny? People blame genetics for like them being fat. They're like, oh, it's just in my genetics. I'm like, did you also know that your intelligence is genetic? And they're like, no. And like, I'm not stupid because my parents. I'm like, unfortunately, intelligence is a lot of
my dad. Like, honestly, I took off my dad in so many ways. He was bald. I had to get extensions. I had no tits. Bought them. Sometimes you've got to do stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You have to.
My dad's bald too.
Oh.
So.
Were you born bald?
Yeah. No.
Naturally bald.
But I was just born with them bits around the sides. I'm just kidding. I wasn't. No, I lost it gradually. I started losing my hair at like 17, 18.
You suit it though. I think some people suit being bald.
Thank you.
It's alright.
Well, I was just saying before, when I did the anonymous questions thing, I got one through this morning. I hope whoever asked this question is watching or listening. But it said, are you naturally bald or do you shave it? And I was like, what do you mean by naturally bald? Like,
I'm still trying to process that.
I'm like, do you mean like, did I lose my hair naturally or did I just choose to have no hair?
You do suit it though.
Thank you very much.
I had to get hair extensions. I have just no hair. I was like strawberry bald.
I'm actually bald by accident, believe it or not.
I'm running into a razor.
No, well, more or less. Yeah. So I was doing some work in Finland. I was there for a month, and the guy that I was the assistant to, the coach, was like, bro, like, your hair is not cool. Like, I'm gonna tell you as a friend because I'll show you afterwards. It was like
accidentally got insulted by a Finnish person.
No, he was from Bath, so it's fine.
Okay,
so he didn't have the same northern soul as we did, but he was southern and he was blonde. But I love him to death, Luca. And he was like, bro, your hairline's not cool. We need to sort it out. He was like, why don't we? You've got a week and a half left. You haven't got much hair. So why don't you just come into this barber's? You can shave it. We get it shaved a little bit shorter, and if you don't like it, you've got time to grow it out. I was like, mint. So we went in, and this Finnish barber, he wasn't Finnish, he was from Pakistan, and he didn't speak English, and he didn't speak much Finnish. So explaining what you want to do to your hair is very difficult. So we went in, Luca was getting his hair cut, and he's from the military, so he had like short, very short, but he had that balding bit. He actually had a hair transplant now, but he had that bit where you kind of got the ring there.
Yeah.
But the top was a bit longer, and I was like, it looks cool on him because it's like I'm admitting that
Again,
I'm losing my hair.
My friend's got that.
Yeah, I was like admitting that you're going bald, but you're not letting it grow out and cover it over. So I'm pointing at Luca, and I'm like that, please, like that. And this guy's like, oh no problem. No. So he's like really going to town on like the sides and the back, like fading it in, but he's leaving this like floppy little like bit on top. And then he starts coming around with the brush, where the I'm like, wait, what about the top? I look like fucking Smurf. Oh, this is fucking like this, right? And I go,
chicken.
and I said, yeah, I look like a fucking chicken little, and I look like that. The penguin from fucking.
With the fucking glove on his head. I love that film when he tries to steal the diamond.
That's what I look
Off
like.
topic.
And so I'm going, and I looked at him, and I for anyone watching, I'm doing this over my head like a razor, and I said, "Are you gonna shave the top?" And he goes, "Oh, like this," and I'm like, "Okay, he's gonna do it right," and he just went, straight through that. And I was like, and Luca looked over and he goes, "Wait!" And I'm like, "Oh fuck!" So, and do you know what? Ever since then, I've just been like, I mean, it was like a buzz cut. It wasn't bald, but it was like, yeah, you're bald. You know what I mean?
Shot back a dickhead.
Yeah, and now I shave it a lot more close at the bone, and you know what? I wouldn't go back. I'm so grateful for that barber who fucked up.
I feel like you're meant to sort of thingy.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I looked back then like I shouldn't have been allowed to walk near schools. It was just not a good look. Anyway, moving on because we still got some stuff to go through. I hear a lot about like healthy eating is expensive. So where do you stand on that front?
You know what else is expensive? Being fucking poorly. Health is wealth.
Yes.
And as well, like going back to what I said before.
That's actually written on the wall downstairs. And when you saw
really? I took that from the sign. I had no idea what I said before I came up here. People are like, oh, eating healthy is really, I don't want to. You are going to spend more money on shit than you are ever going to do on food. Like, I eat twice a day, mate. I don't eat that much. Like, because, again, what you eat determines how much you eat. Like, my breakfast fills me, then I have my lunch. I have my tea later. Like, it's not expensive. But even if it was expensive, it makes me feel fucking class. I don't care how expensive it is.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It's not that expensive. Have you seen the price of McDonald's these days or Burger King? Holy shit, Burger King. Sort your fucking prices out.
I live, right, so my house is like the cul-de-sac and whatever have you. And then you go around.
I also live in a cul-de-sac.
I love cul-de-sacs. They're so wholesome.
Cul-de-sac. Anyway, sorry.
They make me really happy.
Your energy.
I've actually got a little
I'm really
sign on my
professional
door.
normally.
Huh?
I'm really professionally normally, but having someone like who speaks their mind, it warms over to me as well.
That's good though.
Yeah,
we should have that effect on people.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like,
I'll match people's energy, so yeah.
Good. I like that we're vibing the same, man. You've abstract tribe.
Yeah,
so I've
bro.
actually got a door. I've got a door.
I would hope so. I would hope you have a door in your
Come
house.
in. I've actually got a sign on my door that says Pato. Oh, what's it called? Chateau de Pato. It's name of my house. My last name's Patterson. Chateau de Pato.
That's cool.
I know. I was talking about McDonald's. Where the hell I went there? Yeah. So there's a McDonald's like round near where I live, and I swear to God, mate, right, it is always full.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It is always full. Like, and again, I don't want to hate on McDonald's. It's fucking shite, and it's always got people in it. Always. And like, even just making your family like a meal together and sitting down at the table and fucking eating it, that actually physically has effect on your hormones. It makes you happier, your serotonin. Like, your serotonin is made in your gut.
Well, it goes back to the classic, you are what you eat.
Of course you fucking are. And I'm a
bullshit.
12-ounce ribeye steak, motherfucker. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I
love steak.
Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut.
Do you know what? If I go for any takeaway, kind of like if it's like Burger King, McDonald's, whatever, I go KFC. I just love the original recipe chicken. The original recipe chicken.
I'm more like a red meat girl now.
I do see that, but the problem was I ate so much red meat when I went out for a steak, it just didn't hit the spot anymore.
Oh no, you've got to eat your own steak. I go to butchers, right, and the Carl Hutchinson Hobbs in Yarm doing that shout out because they are amazing. They deserve the thing. It's all grass fed. And me and Scott decided one night, because I don't really like going out for food as much. I love my own cooking.
Yeah,
it's more expensive going out. You got to dress up.
Yeah.
So we bought I think it was 1,500 gram tomahawk steak, and we just put it on a board and ate it, and it was fucking lethal.
Yeah.
And it was better than any steakhouse we've ever gone to. But we make our own food and that. I make brownies, I make chicken gyros and stuff like that. Healthy food has got this gyros.
Yeah.
Is that how you... Okay, that's fair.
I've been to Greece a few times, and I don't want to brag, but I've been to Greece a few times.
I don't mean to brag. I've got a Greece keyring magnet on my fridge. I
have so many magnets on my fridge, it's insane.
I need to read... I'm going to Morocco in March. Can't wait for that.
Nice.
And I went to Kenya last year. That was unbelievable.
Nice.
Safari.
I went to Rome last year, actually.
Oh, what was that like? I've always wanted to go.
Fucking sick. And do you know what was really funny?
I really wanted to go to Rome.
Don't go for the next few years, right? Actually, no. Scratch
2
it.
days?
I'll tell
I've
you
got
what.
nothing planned.
2 years, sorry.
Oh, right, okay.
The next few years, I said, sorry.
Right.
The only reason I say that is because everyone wants to go see the Trevi Fountain, right? And we were there for like 5 days, and I think within the first 2 days we saw it, took pictures, and then after that they cornered it off and emptied it, and it's now like they're having work done on it, so it's all fenced off and shit. And I was like, thank God I managed to get like cool and throw the penny in and shit. Like I was like, thank God before it's fucking.
I really want to go to Rome. There's so many places I want to go to though, like fucking so many places.
Yeah.
What was I saying? What was I
don't know,
talking
but
about?
I've absolutely loved this podcast because it has just been chaos, and I love it.
Yeah, but that's the best kind.
If this is your first time listening to this show, not every episode is this chaotic, but there is a few that are quite chaotic. So, and you will get a good variation. This is why I like to have a good variation of guests on. And you reached out to me, and I was like, you know what, this is perfect. So
perfect.
Yeah, perfect. What's that from? It's just a sound on TikTok.
I think it's just a sound, like vines that used to go on the thing. Like I think there was a vine that was going on years ago, and it was about watermelon. The vines were. I used to fucking love a vine.
Vine was peak.
Now it's Instagram, and it's a lot more serious.
It's a road
Bring
work.
the watermelon guy back.
He's probably still going. I used to love the one. I still quote the one where it's like, road work ahead. Yeah, I sure hope it does.
Yes!
That's my favorite one.
My God, I need to find all the old
stupid.
vines.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's what I'm doing the train home. 100%, man.
Anyway, back to this. My last few questions for you. So places like Slim and World label food as
it's so toxic. It's a cult.
And stuff like that. But yeah, it is a little bit of a cult. So when people label food bad and good, they don't like to label it bad and good. They're like, like you should probably it's sin. Like, where do you stand on label things good and bad?
What the fuck's avocado done to them? Why are you hating on avocados? Why? Honestly, man, it's got too many sins, too many calories. What I found a little bit annoying recently is there's quite a lot of influencers online, and they are actually throwing shade on people that are saying that certain foods are good and bad. Because I'm sorry, there is good and bad food. Because you can't tell me that something made purely in a factory from molecules that's going to wreck your gut is good. There isn't thingy. What I think a lot of people do this for, I might be wrong, is purely because, one, the truth isn't fucking sexy sometimes.
No.
Two, if they sit there and say, I can help you lose weight and still eat everything you want to eat, that is a good sell.
It is.
Do you know what I mean? Or they might just not know. They might actually physically believe it. Obviously, I'm not saying that everyone is, saying... I actually saw a reel the other day, and it was a woman saying, please, can people stop eating ultra-processed food abnormal? Like, stop throwing shade on it. But it's not about weight. It's about your fucking health.
See, the issue I have is, and I got called out on this actually online, and I was like, I understand this actually, and I don't mind having someone critique what I say.
No, it's
I'm not
good to have a bit of opinion.
Yeah, and they were we were saying things, I can't remember the exact content, but it was about like, what food's good, what food's bad, and stuff like that. And some guys are like, well, what about this kind of mentality will also produce people with eating disorders? Because people will take these things too far or not far enough. Do you know, like, there's people out there who... I think
if you explain why, like what I eat in a day.
Yeah.
How am I doing why I eat in a day? Like, so if you explain why something is bad, not because I'm having to go because it's going to put weight on someone, like, that's actually going to maybe alter your gene pattern. That's going to make your hormones out of whack. Like, that is going to wreck your metabolism. That's not... making someone have a toxic relationship with food. That's helping them with their health.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. And I think the problem is sadly there are always going to be people who, no matter how informed they are still going to develop these eating disorders of eating too much, eating too little or whatever. And it's unfortunate. I mean, the only thing you can do really is talk about the truth. But I think there are some people who will take diet advice very, like, too literally or whatever. I mean, I had an uncle who got, like, he was a little bit overweight. He wasn't, like, hilariously overweight or whatever. But he got the exercise bike, And I saw him like months afterwards, and it was just the transformation in him was insane.
Oh, I love that for him.
But he was almost like people can get addicted to exercise in the same way people can get like the wrong idea about food. Like people can take exercise to the extreme as well as food, and they can be too, I mean,
weight loss is like 80% weights, 20% cardio, 100% diet.
Yeah, you can't outtrain a bad diet.
Of course you can't.
I just wanted to make it clear that we don't want to try and push people to like overcomplicate things. I think that's the problem is with diet and food. There's a lot of people out there.
When you start eating real food, you do feel mint for it. Like,
but I think TikTok and Instagram have ruined people's perception of what's good. I mean, all you need to do is think about what would people 1,000 years ago have.
If it wasn't around 10,000 years ago, right, you're not a guinea pig.
Even 1,000,
Yeah, exactly. Like, there was I'm trying to think of a really good example. You go. I can't think of an example straight off the top of my head. Instrumental, 19 seconds. I'm trying to think of a good example. Like, you know what, right? Fucking protein cheese.
Cheese has got protein in it anyway.
It's like getting a cow and writing protein on the side of it. We don't need to know it's got protein in it. There's obviously a reason behind that, why it's thingy. That's probably not the best example.
Well, I tell you what the best. A good example. I love chocolate mousse.
Okay.
Right? Chocolate mousse is one of my favourite desserts. That and tiramisu. If anyone wants to buy me tiramisu, feel free. But
you're going to start advertising your own brand of tiramisu.
The above average chocolate mousse coming soon to Morrison's near you.
I knew there was something behind all this.
Yeah, this whole podcast is just promo for my new protein round. Yeah.
That actually reminds me. Please remind me about the tiramisu rice cake recipe that's going on viral at the minute, and it's a fucking joke.
What's horrible? Or?
Oh my god, there's a woman.
I did have a point with chocolate mousse, but we'll come back to this.
A low calorie dessert. Mm-hmm. She gets 2 rice cakes, she soaks them in coffee, and then she puts something on them and she says it's tiramisu, low calorie.
No.
That's traumatising.
It's insulting to tiramisu.
If I was tiramisu, I would be raging. I'd be suing. That is awful. Like, that is disordered eating.
But
that is disordered eating.
It is. The problem is people see protein and they think it's healthy. It's not, right? Because I like occasionally protein chocolate mousse. You can get it at Morrison's, right? It's a fucking massive tub, and it's like I don't know, 35 grams of protein in this chocolate mousse, right? And people see that and they go, I can have this.
from eating them.
Oh yeah, I shit my guts out.
Yeah,
shit my guts out after them wings the other week. But you can look at that and you go, a protein chocolate mousse or this chocolate mousse. Well, this one's better for me because it's got protein
in it.
And it's like, it's better if you're like bulking if you're in a bulking phase, right? So
if you want IBS, go ahead.
But it's just because it has protein in it. I have had protein pancakes, I've had protein coffee, I've had protein cheese. I've tried the lot, right? A lot of it tastes like it's got that. You know when something's got protein in it,
fake taste, synthetic.
Yeah, it's like a chalky kind of.
Put it this way, right? The cigarette industry bought the food industry. They literally have scientists who know how to make food addictive, and they know how to make a bliss point, which makes the food, you take one bite of it, it's like, oh my God, it's like a taste sensation. They actually have people that know how to do that with food, but like there's an alternative for everything, like protein pancakes. I make my pancakes with a banana and an egg. I mash it up, put loads of fucking Greek yogurt on. That's lovely, and it's not going to make me shit myself.
If you want it's like if rather than having a chocolate mousse on the night time, you could have some Greek yogurt with berries.
Yeah, some dark granola or something. Dark chocolate's really good for you. Good.
It's better than having. I mean, too much of it obviously is not. But if you
but you can't have that much of it though because it's that like rich, it's that strong. You actually you can go through a whole bar of Galaxy, but with dark chocolate, I have 2 bits and I'm like, oh, I'm fucking done here. Yeah. Or even better, get a date. Do you like dates?
I love dates. I had them in Dubai.
They are nature's candy. They're so delicious. Good pre-gym workout as well, to be fair. Get a date, cut it in half, put some dark chocolate in. Ooh, fucking lethal. And it's such a good little way of getting that sweet thing in. It doesn't raise your blood sugar that much because dates are nature's, sweet. And you've had something nice. Rather than, going for the... Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's always a healthy alternative because all shit food came from a good food originally. Ice cream used to be made with raw milk and honey. Now, it's got a shelf life of 95 years because it's got shit in it. It's had that Walls ice cream. It's been here since, we built Morrison's.
Yeah.
It's all to preserve and make money. Like, they used to be able to make a cake with flowers, egg, sugar. Now it's got fucking xanthan gum in. It's got all this shit in to make it last longer and to cost cheaper, but at the cost of our fucking health.
Yeah.
And that is why people are put weight on, not because of how much food they're eating.
And why they feel shit. Mental health needs physical support. If your body's fucked, your brain's fucked.
Mate, they say when you go to the doctors about a chemical imbalance in your brain, right? It's fucking not. It's in your fucking gut. That's where your happiness is made.
How can someone look after their gut more?
Fermented foods are really good. Mm-hmm. So, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi. Kimchi's fucking divine. It's like a really posh cabbage. Oh, it's so nice. Bone broth's really good for your gut. Mm-hmm. Walking after eating helps the digestive system kind of regulate a little bit. Call it my post-walk fart.
Post-walk fart.
Mm-hmm. Just like fart down the road, healthy as fuck.
I just have protein farts and then lethal.
I would honestly say avoid the products like that.
What the protein? I think even if I don't have protein powders, I still fart. It's just some.
Oh no, I'm not saying that farting's good. Keep it in. You know, it comes out as a burp. Weird.
It does.
But,
it goes to your lungs apparently. It makes your breath smell as well. I heard that somewhere.
Fuck off, really?
Yeah, because it has to go. It's gas. It has to go somewhere. So but it retreats in the body, gets in the bloodstream, and then gets in the lungs, and you.
I learned so much from you, like Google with glasses.
If you imagine Google as a person, do you just see me now?
Oh my god, I really would actually. Don't ingest your fart. Have this protein mousse instead. No,
you heard it here first. I am the official face of Google.
You heard it here first. I would avoid anything synthetic. 100,000,000%. And things like maybe soft veggies, slow cooked meats are really good for your gut. Mm-hmm. But definitely focus on like your fermented foods. Where
really do you sit on things like Actimel and stuff like that?
Absolutely shite. Anything that promotes good gut health, like it's got to be in a shiny package. Like I was saying on the phone, like we are now in a society of people who need to eat things that have been advertised by a cartoon fucking tiger on the telly. If it's been shouted from the rooftops.
Here's one for you. Maybe a little bit of a trick question. What's the most important meal of the day?
Oh, I'd probably say your first meal. But breakfast doesn't have to be breakfast. It's the first meal that breaks your fast.
Do you know what my answer to that is?
Go.
The next one. The most important meal of the day is the next one.
Oh, okay.
It's not whether you get it all in a breakfast. I like your answer though.
Okay.
It's not whether you get it all in a breakfast. It's not whether you get it all in a dinner. It's just the next one. The most important workout of the week is the next one.
I like that actually.
It's a healthy mentality to have.
Yeah, it's good.
Because most people will start the diet on Monday as if the world's going to fucking implode if they start on a Thursday. And then by Wednesday, they've had a fucking fry up and they throw the rest of the week.
Because they literally say to themselves, I'm going to start a diet. That automatically puts something very fucking negative into your mind. It's like, oh, I'm starting a diet. But no, it doesn't need to be like that. It doesn't need to be so fucking negative.
And you don't need to throw it out the window just because you had a fry up on a Wednesday. Just
no, definitely not. If you make it in butter, it's fucking fine anyway.
It's like Wednesday night, you have a fucking, I don't know, what's around here, Maguire's or Freisenberg's or something like that, right? You have a takeaway. Thursday morning, back on it. Don't just think you fucked up the whole week. Thursday morning, back on it. Thursday afternoon, back on it. It's what you do
majority of the time. And if the majority of the time, like I said, I'm 95.5. Like, my fiancé, bless him, I've got him on the way of eating that I do. He loves it. But he used to think I was raj for not ever wanting a takeaway. I'm like, I'm not trying to be good. I just generally don't want one. I've changed my gut microbiome. I just generally don't crave one. I feel like shit afterwards. Like that's why I stopped drinking, because I felt like a bag of ass.
I feel good while I'm eating Chinese spare ribs, and then like an hour later, I'm like, oh, I wish I hadn't done that.
This is it. Like afterwards, you just feel like shit. But the food should never make you feel lethargic or shit or bloated afterwards. Yeah, you're gonna feel a little bit bloated. You've just eaten, but you should be able to happily go for your post-fart walk.
Post-fart, I'm gonna use that.
You need to do it, mate. It's so good. It actually reduced the blood sugar spike from the food you're just eating by about 70%. But it's really good for helping you just get moving. Like when they say like, oh, when you've eaten, just sit down, let it lie. No, go for a fucking walk. 15 to 20 minutes, nothing major. Light stroll.
No need
it's
to go
really,
for a run.
honestly, it's a massive game changer.
Yeah.
I love walking.
Absolutely. So
I might walk home from here.
That's a long way from South Shields to Donington.
Got
That is a
bone
long
bath,
way.
I'm fucking south.
Well, listen, I have one last question for you.
Okay, go.
And it's a question that I ask all my guests.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Oh,
that's a coffee
right.
before.
Oh, that's all right.
That's a coffee before.
Did you like the milk though?
I didn't use the milk. I had a black.
Oh.
Sorry. I know you didn't bring that milk for me.
Tough crowd.
I drink a lot of coffee black now because I just prefer it. But this question is one that you can answer any way you see fit. There is no right or wrong answer. It's totally up to your personal perspective, and it is quite simply: do you consider yourself a success?
Do I consider myself successful?
Yes. Do you consider yourself a success? And you can take a minute on this. But, well, fair enough. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because I get fulfillment from what I'm doing, and success without fulfillment is failure. I don't care about making a fucking load of money, like, at all. Does not bother me. I'm getting something from what I'm doing and helping people. And I think in life, to be happy, to be happy in yourself is really important, but you have to leave a positive imprint. You have to do something good. And that, to me, is success, when you're doing something good and you're getting something from it. You've fulfilled. Yeah, basically, in a nutshell.
I love that.
Thank you.
Love that. Well, Nicola Patterson, thank you very much for being on the show. Where can people follow your journey? Where can people message you? Where can people find out what you do?
I've got like 15 avenues of social media and can get a little bit ahead. You know what I mean? For some of the ADHD,
Well,
it's like,
I can only put one on the screen, so which one do you want people to look at?
Instagram Nutrition, that'd be good.
Nutrition.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So that's just at Nutrition?
I think it is, yeah. I'm not really sure what the handle
I'll put it on the
is.
screen, don't worry, but NIC...
Yeah, it's just like half my name and then Nutrition.
Nutrition.
It's quite funny. I love that one.
Excellent. What have you got coming up that we can expect to see from you? Anything exciting?
I'm collaborating with a company in Newcastle. I'm going to be their remote nutritionist. I've also got a few other things with schools going on. There's loads of... I don't really know specifically, but it's all really exciting. I'm very excited.
Excellent. Have you ever thought about public speaking?
I would love to do public speaking. Love to. I'm doing an NLP qualification in February.
Nice.
Which will tie into that, I think.
I think it'd be really good.
Love to. Really?
I think it'd be really good, yeah. Anyone with a motor mouth like yours, excellent public speaking.
Fucking sound, love that for me. It's a gift and a curse. I'd love to do public speaking.
Yeah, I'll put you in touch with someone after this. But
oh my god, really?
Yeah, well, yeah. So, guys, as always, please follow the podcast. Give it a 5-star review if you're following us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Because 5 stars, no 4 stars, right, Nicola? No 4 stars.
No 4 stars.
5 stars really helps push us to new audiences and just means that more people can listen and hear about Nicola's amazing. Insanity life that's gone on. So please, guys, I will love a follow. I would really appreciate any comments that you have as well. And as always, I will see you in the very next episode. Take care, guys.
It's been a journey.